Welcome to the Behavioral Countermeasures session of the Local Road Safety Plan Implementation Training Series. The purpose of this training session is to provide county and municipal law enforcement, authorities, education and administration, and public service groups with low-cost approaches to implementing behavioral traffic safety countermeasures. Approaches presented in this session were identified based on conversations with stakeholders during the development of the 4 local road safety plans for the South Jersey Transportation Planning Organization, or SJTPO. Note that this training is geared towards actions that can be implemented with in-house staff and limited resources, and is not a comprehensive approach to traffic safety. The approaches presented here are a selection of low-cost countermeasures and best practices, though there are many other options agencies may consider as they work towards a goal of 0 deaths. During this training, the basics of low-cost behavioral countermeasures to traffic safety will be covered, including using a data-driven approach to cooperative enforcement activities, pedestrian decoy programs, engaging student and community organizations, and the use of variable message boards. This will provide county and municipal engineers, planners, and public works departments with low-cost approaches to implementing traffic safety improvements on county and municipal roads. Low-cost behavioral countermeasures are evidence-based strategies that influence decision-making and behavior through minimal cost. These approaches are designed to improve safety, compliance, and performance without requiring significant financial or structural changes. Behavioral countermeasures focus on influencing human behavior to improve safety and focus on enforcement, education, and outreach. This training specifically speaks to leveraging resources and making the most of existing efforts through collaboration with a variety of local safety stakeholders. In this next section, we'll explore cooperative enforcement activities using a data-driven approach. Before we get into the depth of the coordination of cooperative enforcement activities, we must first understand where to start. A data-driven safety analysis is supported by both the Federal Highway Administration and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, and that's driven by a systemic review and analysis of quality data sources when making decisions on where to implement enforcement strategies. The benefit to using a data-driven approach is that it's unbiased and informed decision-making, it's a targeted investment, and the ultimate goal is to improve safety. The next few slides will provide information and resources on using a data-driven approach to identify locations and determine the most effective action or strategy for enforcement activities. The main objective to using a data-driven approach to cooperative enforcement activities is to identify locations that have the most potential for addressing safety concerns. There are several transportation plans and data already developed through SJTPO that are a great place to start. The county-wide local road safety plans include both a high injury network list and systemic analysis of each county. The high injury networks include a comprehensive list of the top roadway segments and intersections with the highest crash frequency. The systemic analysis portion of the safety plan summarizes different combinations of roadway attributes that may result in a higher likelihood of a crash based on historic crash data. This analysis divided up roadway segments versus intersections and highlights different crash types for each county. For example, in Atlantic County, the systemic analysis focused on fixed object and pedestrian crash types on roadway corridors and pedestrian crashes at intersections. For pedestrian crashes at intersections, intersections that are signalized, have a major road speed limit of 25 miles per hour or lower, and where left turn lanes are present on the minor road were identified as locations that have the highest probability of benefit of a safety improvement. Using the resources compiled from SJTPO takes some of the guesswork out of identifying locations that would benefit from enforcement activities, especially if you were aiming to target a specific crash type or driver behavior. There are several other methods to determine where to focus enforcement efforts, like performing your own crash query using AshToWare Safety's numeric platform, pulling together service calls or officer activity data, going to the community for feedback, interviews, and observations, and getting input from local leaders and organizations, law enforcement agencies, and emergency services. Using one or more of these resources will help to narrow down and prioritize a list of potential areas that would benefit from having additional enforcement present. AshToWare Safety's numeric program is a tool that's readily available to collect and evaluate crash data. This cloud-based software is capable of performing a crash query, filtering to a specific crash type or severity, and visualizing crash trends over a time period. The program itself is user-friendly and intuitive, and requires minimal training to use. Licenses to access ashore safety are managed through state or local transportation agencies or organizations. For more information or questions about gaining access or creating an account, contact Joe Weiss at the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety. Performing a crash query using Numetric can be conducted through multiple different approaches, depending on what type of information or data is preferred. The first approach is manually focusing on a specific location using the zoom feature. The initial Numetric interface displays a heat map, indicating a concentrated area of crashes. Zooming in on the map, like the one shown on this slide, starts to display individual or groups of crashes, color-coded by the highest severity. Each circle indicates the number of crashes in that vicinity. Continuing to zoom in will start to show exact locations of individual crashes, with the ability to pull up available crash details. In addition to zooming in and out to observe the density of crashes, the Numetric platform is also capable of displaying various map layers specific to New Jersey. Applying filters is an especially useful tool for focusing crashes on specific information. In this example, the filter has been set to only show crashes that involved a pedestrian. This can be extremely useful if you want to filter down to specific years, crash types, or any other information that would be available on a crash report. The crash data can also be used to create customized dashboards, which appear on the right side of the Numetric interface. The default dashboard shows information such as crash severity, type, and year. The data displayed can be changed by clicking the Manage Metrics button, which will pull up a menu of all fields in the crash data. The user can add or remove these different metrics to display on the dashboard. In this example, the dashboard was customized to include a breakdown on crashes that involved a motorcycle and where speed was a factor. Network screening lists are also available as part of the Numetric platform, as well as customizable charts to visualize trends, and the ability to download maps and charts, measure distance, and view raw crash data. The network screening lists have the capability to be filtered to the SJTPO region. These lists prioritize roadway segments and intersections, with the ability to customize location ranking based on the number of total crashes, number of fatal crashes, crash rate or density, or equivalent property damage only. Numetric also has the option of performing the network screening based on a sliding window analysis. Using the tools available through the Numetric program and the locations presented in the pre-existing countywide plans provide a solid foundation to planning a successful and effective coordinated traffic patrol. Coordinated traffic patrols, a type of cooperative enforcement activity, are designed to create deterrence and to change unlawful and dangerous driving behaviors by increasing enforcement and encouraging road users to make safer choices while driving. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, or NHTSA, offers a high visibility enforcement toolkit that has many resources on how to successfully implement an enforcement campaign, such as this one promoting sober driving during the Super Bowl. This toolkit includes helpful materials, such as an overview of the process and strategies, a timeline for planning, training, and measuring the effectiveness of the campaign. These resources are all completely free and are strongly encouraged to use. In addition to the Super Bowl campaign, NHTSA's other traffic safety campaigns include Click It or Ticket, Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over, and many others, which will be explored in more detail later in this training. Choose locations to enforce positive driving behaviors based on a crash query or network screening list using Numetric, or locations highlighted in the local road safety plans. Other areas to consider positioning enforcement are at community events or places that are expected to have more traffic during the holidays or special events, in coordination with NHTSA or the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety. Coordination is a key element for a successful enforcement patrol. Partner with multiple law enforcement agencies to expand the patrols, such as state police, county sheriffs, and local agencies. Involving neighboring agencies with existing traffic patrols promotes the message that it's not just about the money, but making the most of the money and resources that are already available. Transparency and communication are essential to maintain trust with the public. Also consider partnering with other local agencies, organizations, and businesses in the community, including Mothers and Students Against Drunk Driving, the HERO Campaign, school student councils, and the National Park Service, to enforce the idea that patrols are everywhere. This list offers just a small sample of the multitude of potential collaboration opportunities. At the completion of a campaign or coordinated traffic patrol, develop a plan to assess the enforcement efforts. Ways to measure the outcome of the program include comparing the before and after crashes, the number of directed patrols, the amount of traffic citations, and an overall decrease in crime. In this next section, we will discuss a police enforcement and education tactic called the Pedestrian Decoy Program, or COPS and Crosswalks. The Pedestrian Decoy Program, or COPS and Crosswalks, is a high visibility enforcement strategy that focuses on pedestrian safety. This program positions police officers in civilian or plainclothes at crosswalks. If a vehicle fails to yield for the pedestrian police officer crossing the road at the crosswalk, a nearby uniformed officer will stop the vehicle and issue a warning, citation, or educational material like this palm card. The main focus of this program is to educate drivers that it is a state law for vehicles to stop for pedestrians in marked crosswalks, especially drivers who are not local and are unfamiliar with New Jersey laws. The steps listed here are a general framework to implementing a successful campaign. First, organize a committee of stakeholders and assign a champion of the program to lead the coordination efforts. Partner with local police departments and law enforcement to determine what resources and time is needed, what is already available, and the cost of materials and operations. Next, coordinate with community partners, discuss sponsorship opportunities, and explore potential funding. Resources for grants and funding will be further explored on the next slide. Once the initial planning steps are completed, determine the areas where enforcement would be most beneficial. This can be done by using Numeric to find concentrated areas of crashes that involve a pedestrian or locations where pedestrian traffic is high. This program is especially important in tourist areas. For example, Ocean City and Cape May County executed a successful pedestrian decoy program in the past. Once the program is completed, evaluate the results and effectiveness, and apply these takeaways to the next implementation cycle. There are several resources and organizations that are available to provide aid in implementing not only a pedestrian decoy program, but other pedestrian safety campaigns as well. Street Smart New Jersey is a statewide program to increase pedestrian safety through education and awareness. Their office offers assistance and is available to answer any questions, while their website provides guides, documents, and printable materials on implementing a campaign. Utilize their resources to supplement these steps to coordinate a successful program. There are many opportunities to receive a grant or funding for the Pedestrian Decoy Program or any other pedestrian safety campaign. The SJTPO Funding Programs webpage provides links for many available federal, state, and private funding opportunities. The Local Aid Resource Center and the Division of Highway Traffic Safety are two other agencies that compile a collection of funding and grant programs. To ensure a successful application, it is recommended to seek technical assistance from organizations such as the Cross-County Connection Transportation Management Association, the Bicycle and Pedestrian Resource Center, or the Safe Routes to School Resource Center to aid in grant writing, the application process, and verifying that all materials are submitted correctly and the requirements of the grant are met. In this next section, we will explore some methods to engage student and community organizations. It is important to foster a strong relationship with schools, student groups, and the community when promoting traffic safety awareness. In this next section, we will explore just a sample of the many opportunities to engage both students and the general public in traffic safety awareness, education, and outreach. This will include a look into the campaigns that NHTSA sponsors and how to disseminate that material, partnering with local branches of Cross-County Connection and Safe Routes to School, taking advantage of the programs offered by SJTPO's traffic safety education, creating traffic safety commitments and challenges for schools in the community, and finally wrapping up with some other creative ideas that have been offered by various stakeholders in the region. Utilizing safety resources and materials from NHTSA is a great low-cost way to spread awareness through organized campaigns. NHTSA creates free materials that are available on their website that target specific national, monthly, and seasonal educational awareness programs. The website also shows any upcoming campaigns to plan accordingly. Many campaigns are specific to the season or holiday, but most focus on broad topics that can be curated to the specific needs of the community, such as bicycle and pedestrian safety, distracted driving, speeding, impaired driving, motorcycle safety, wearing a seatbelt, and vehicle safety. Since all of the materials on the NHTSA campaign website are free, it is strongly encouraged to take advantage of utilizing these resources in many diverse ways and outlets. First, consider signing up for the email updates to receive news on upcoming campaigns and what materials will be available. The website offers guidance on how to disseminate information, so use as many communication methods as possible, including billboard images, variable message board text, countermeasures, and dashboards. If using a variable message board, position the board in high traffic areas or high priority locations. If your agency or department does not have a variable message board available, consider borrowing or partner with your maintenance department or local construction company. The safety marketing materials offered by NHTSA span a wide array of topics that cover a variety of categories, such as human behaviors like distracted driving, drunk driving, and speeding, road users, which include pedestrians, bicyclists, motorcycle drivers, and older and teen drivers, and roadway awareness, like the move over law and school bus safety. Having a vast selection of topics gives you the opportunity to choose a campaign that is important to your community. Consider creative ways of distributing materials through the media, such as creating social media posts on platforms such as Facebook, X, and Instagram, or having a local student group take the lead on posting, sharing the NHTSA videos, using the earned media and news release information for radio or news stations, taking advantage of the talking points, facts, and stats data sheets, and printing out the graphics, handouts, and posters that are available to download from the campaign webpage and sharing them throughout the community, businesses, and other creative spaces. Schools, community organizations, and local events are great opportunities for partnerships. Reach out to groups such as student councils, PTAs, colleges, sororities and fraternities, and scout organizations. Some organizations, such as MAD and SAD, have an established presence within the community and are known to have booths at local and school events. Also consider having a presence at other local events, such as tournaments, fairs, parades, concerts, car shows, and other local events specific to your community. While this method is effective, sometimes a more direct approach to student outreach is preferred. A few examples are hosting an attendance mandated school assembly or introducing information in a morning video announcement. These methods will reach students directly without them having the pressure to approach a booth or speak with a representative. There are several organizations that provide resources and technical assistance with implementing transportation safety programs in the community. Cross County Connection is the Transportation Management Association for the SJTPO region. This organization provides programs, services, and resources to promote pedestrian and bicyclist safety through public education and outreach. Some of these resources include conducting road safety audits to evaluate conditions of a road or intersection and organizing pedestrian safety campaigns. Cross County Connection also offers a free Safe Routes to School program through a partnership with the New Jersey Department of Transportation. This program focuses on children's safety and well being by promoting an active but safe lifestyle. Some of the programs at Safe Routes to School offer are classes, a poster contest, steps challenge, helmet fitting, bike riding lessons, and an infrastructure assessment for mobility of pedestrians and bicycles around the school, which can be used to apply for a Safe Routes to School infrastructure grant. SJTPO offers a variety of in-person classes and programs that are designed to educate the public on traffic safety, which are available upon request. Examples of available courses include defensive driving for all ages, a driving simulator for high school students, seatbelt safety for elementary and middle school students, and the Share the Keys program, a teen driving course that focuses on parental involvement and emphasizing that safety culture starts at home. Changing human behavior in terms of traffic safety can be done in fun yet low-cost ways. Engaging the public with contests and challenges demonstrates that education and enforcement can be presented in an entertaining format. Incentive-based programs are a great way to offer rewards to participants. Have police or local establishments give rewards, like coupons or prizes, to children who are obeying traffic safety laws, like wearing a helmet while riding a bike, or partner with the Chamber of Commerce to help businesses receive insurance benefits for implementing a mercantile permit that would require bicycle, scooter, and golf cart rental users to sign a safety agreement. Implementing systemic behavioral safety improvements can start with something as small as a fun competition. It is important to encourage positive driving habits at an early age before children and young teenagers are behind the wheel. Partnering with businesses to offer rewards to the driver with the highest score on safe driving apps is a unique way to encourage safe driving practices amongst all drivers. Having events hosted by schools, like the poster contest hosted by Cross County Connection's Safe Routes to School, is an effective way to involve the youth. During the development of the county-wide local road safety plans, steering committee meetings and workshops were held to exchange information and updates concerning the plans. Members of these groups were given a forum to discuss ideas on countermeasures to include in the plan and share feedback on successful strategies, events, and programs that some counties have already implemented. These slides highlight suggestions from around the region. In this training, we've highlighted the importance of building trust and community engagement. The National Night Out campaign is an annual event where the neighborhoods come together with law enforcement for a day of camaraderie. Events can include block parties, festivals, parades, concerts, safety demonstrations, and exhibits. This is an opportunity to capitalize on the relationship between your residents and law enforcement personnel using resources that are best suited to your community. Developing a partnership with schools is an effective way to reach students, many of whom are going to soon be new drivers. It's important to teach children and teenagers safe driving behaviors before they're actually behind the wheel, such as safe speeds, not using their cell phone, not letting passengers distract them while driving, and staying sober. There are several programs across the United States that are already established and have available resources to help implement across your own school districts. Some of these programs include assemblies before prom or a mock crash that simulates a car crash with actual students as the actors. Another initiative to introduce in schools is the Every 15 Minutes program, or sometimes referred to as Grim Reaper Day. This program was developed to highlight that one person dies every 15 minutes in a crash that involves alcohol, which was the current statistic when the program was released. During this immersive experience, every 15 minutes during the school day, a police officer, EMS team, and an optional Grim Reaper enter a classroom and declare one of the participating students as deceased. The officer reads a cause of death and mock obituary while the student is helped onto a gurney, where they are removed from the classroom, change into an all-black outfit, and have their face painted. The student can no longer interact with peers for the rest of the day. This is followed up with either an assembly or mock funeral, or in conjunction with mock crash. Although since the conception of the program, there have been many creative options that schools incorporated to tailor it to their own budget and resources. It can also be extended to incorporate other negative driving behaviors instead of just drunk driving. To raise awareness about traffic safety, consider coordinating social media campaigns with groups like the New Jersey Walk and Bike Coalition. Sharing messages at strategic times can help maximize visibility and community engagement. These efforts are most effective when supported by strong partnerships with local businesses and organizations, reinforcing the idea that traffic safety is a shared responsibility. Also consider partnering with groups such as the Chamber of Commerce, County Library System, and taxpayer associations for valuable outreach channels. These resources help connect a broader audience and build lasting community support. Capitalizing on community engagement is a great way to build trust and communicate the importance of traffic safety. Take advantage of different organizations and groups within your own community to spread awareness, such as running or bike groups and bike shops. Partner with organizations that work with seniors to host or attend events, such as the Department of Health and the Office of Aging Senior Center. Collaborate with local tourist destinations like zoos or museums to educate seasonal visitors. Other regional initiatives include using alternate forms of media as a communication method. Cape May County uses a local radio station to broadcast a traffic safety message with every weather report. Lower Township in Cape May County includes safety campaign materials in the local newsletter. The prosecutor's office created a pamphlet to highlight the e-bike, bicycle and scooter, motor vehicle, and pedestrian law. Reflect on these creative ideas and consider how you might adapt something similar within your own county, leveraging the communication tools and resources that you already have in place. We've mentioned variable message boards several times so far in this training. In this next section, we'll delve deeper into successfully utilizing this tool. Variable message boards are used to display a message to alert drivers of traffic hazards or other important information or safety campaigns. Since some models of these message boards are portable, they can be relocated often to meet the needs of the community or placed where a safety message is necessary. To keep costs down, take advantage of message boards that are already available from in-house departments or partner with local construction companies that may have some available that they are not currently using. Consult the NHTSA Traffic Safety Marketing Communication Resources for information on current campaigns and recommended message board text, such as the one shown here as part of the Speed and Catches Up With You campaign. The key for a successful variable message board campaign is to coordinate with all participating communities. Displaying the same text or campaign message will have a bigger impact on drivers. This can also be achieved by participating in the seasonal NHTSA campaigns to coordinate on a national scale. Using variable message boards are also a great opportunity to educate seasonal visitors in a tourist area on New Jersey laws or local regulations. To avoid the message becoming stagnant with frequent road users, frequently reposition the text board at different locations to maintain the novelty of the message and sustain interest. Although changing human behavior is a challenge, the methods presented in this training offer ideas and resources for using tools and implementing programs to promote traffic safety. These include using a data-driven approach to ensure that the proper outreach and enforcement is being positioned at the right time and place, leveraging education, enforcement, and engagement to influence safe driving behaviors, and most importantly, maintaining trust within your community by partnering and collaborating with neighboring counties, agencies, and leadership. Make sure to check out the other implementation training sessions available on YouTube for additional information. This concludes the Behavioral Countermeasures session of the Local Road Safety Plan Implementation Training Series. Thank you for watching.